Nobody really tells you what to do when you build your own startup because technically you are the main decision maker of your company and you are supposed to know what is going to take your business forward and how to grow your business further. And it's not easy, especially if you come from like a full-time job where you get a fixed salary and a fixed income and you're basically just tasked day to day and you're just being told what to do and you just finish the task and that's it. You are being paid for getting a job done. But it's different as a founder, as a main decision maker of a company in a startup, because there's no real guideline on what is a good decision to make. You just have to play your cards right and make sure that the decision you make has the less impact and the most benefits to your company. Sometimes you just have to go with your gut feeling and see what works. Because when I build a new product, I go with my gut feeling that this is a problem that I have right now, and I would think that other people have the same problem, and I'll start building like a minimum viable product for early users to test first and see if people are willing to pay for it before I go commit full-time on building this product into an actual thing. Especially if you hire people in your company in the later stages, you have practically people that depend on you for their livelihoods, and decisions have even bigger impact now because people are working at your company and collecting salary from your company, and it is now your main responsibility to make sure that you have enough runway for the company to keep running until the next investment comes in, or purely relying on the company's profits that you are sure that this product will keep growing and converting free users to paid users and getting that revenue in every single month to sustain your business. The reality is anyone can start a business, whether it's in making a t-shirt business or doing stickers, art and craft, doing mugs, selling mugs, or whatever. In any field that you can basically think of, you can start a business in anything that you can imagine. And you basically don't need a degree to do that because anyone can start a business. But in order to sustain business and keep business running, not many know how to do that. And oftentimes it's quite difficult because sometimes when you're in the midst of building a product, you will come across other people that are building the exact same thing as you or maybe something similar as you, and it kind of makes you think, why am I building this when someone else is already building the same thing? And it kind of demotivates you a little bit. Knowing that somebody is building the exact same thing as you are doing, you're basically just doing the same thing someone else is already doing. So what is the point of that? But in fact, we live in a world where we no longer need very original ideas to build a successful startup, because nowadays people are leveraging on existing ideas and people are just generally simplifying it to a smaller scale because users don't really like apps that are bloated, for example, and people just want that one feature that gets the job done. And being able to leverage on that and build a smaller product that does that one feature very well and can actually build a really successful startup. And that is the thing. We do not need original ideas anymore. Original ideas are good, but when you introduce an original, brand new, never seen before idea to a market, it's basically going to the market blind because you are creating an entirely new product in this market that you don't know whether there will be users or not, and you're just hoping that people will come and support your business. Unlike existing ideas that are already well established in the market, you can already see how well these products are performing in the market, and you can sort of gauge whether this product in a simpler version, or if you improve and enhance some of the features of this version of this app, maybe the user interface or the user experience, competitors one is too complicated to use and it's just too not user friendly, you can build a better one with a better user experience, user interface, and maybe enhance it with some features that can help the user further. Just doing this alone gets you a really good product that people use because you already know that there are existing users out there and you just have to find those users, clearly show the reasons why your product is better and why they should switch. But I've always been a fan of original ideas because I do think that having original ideas are cool and all, but it's difficult to find the product market fit for a completely new idea. It's even worse if you don't really know what your target audience is, and most of the time it's really very difficult to build a tech startup. So here I'm also building my own startup. What I'm trying to do here is to build a platform for anyone to create their own custom AI grounded on their own custom knowledge and basically deploy in seconds. So the platform is called The Cosmic, and initially I built it to solve my own problem because currently the school workflow is still rather manual, and if we were to write notes for certain lectures, it's all very manual, and we didn't really have a set of questions that we can practice on to practice for the tests and exams. And I basically created this platform initially to have this way to practice on certain questions, practice on a set of questions that are automatically generated by AI based on your lecture notes to help you practice and find out what your knowledge gaps are. And basically making the entire process of studying completely automated. And I myself just find the process of writing notes and all that very troublesome because the university tends to bloat lecture notes with a lot of unnecessary stuff that is usually not tested in the exams, and there are certain stuff that they just make the sentence so long that it is hard to grasp what exactly the content is talking about. So what the Cosmic initially did was to condense a lecture slide into a very compact form, condenses all the information into short bullet points where you can still know what is going on without having to create the notes yourself. And we're basically completely automating the process of that for students. While I was building that, I realized that there were other platforms that were doing some similar things, such as Notebook LM by Google. And my main target audience isn't sustainable at all because I don't think many students will be willing to pay for this, or even though it's a very useful tool that can help studying more seamless and easy. So when I pivoted from the first prototype, I decided to make a private search engine where anyone could create their own search engine that is private to your own files. Basically, the user uploads their own files, and in providing the ability for the user to search anything from their own files in basically seconds. And the power in the Cosmic is that we can index as many files as you want and being able to chat with as many files as you want. And that is already a step ahead of ChatGPT because ChatGPT is a very general and generic platform for AI chat, and we are basically delivering a platform where you can integrate your own knowledge and files to basically build this entire chat interface where you can chat with all your files at the same time. And even though we pivoted to this second version of the Cosmic, we still have this wider picture that we can still offer this to students because the features of the quiz, the notes generation, the chat is basically still there. Just that we are shifting our target audience a bit to a broader audience where we can help basically any individual or business to create their own search engine. Let's say I have my own setup here. Let's say I want to ask what is a deadlock. What the Cosmic will do is find all the relevant information from my lecture notes and combine it into a single, very easy to read format where the AI is basing off your information and providing a response based on the information that you have in your files. This ChatGPT right now is very generic and it doesn't contain information that is not trained in their system, and it doesn't contain data on information that is not in their training. So this platform is very useful in providing information that is private, where students can upload their lecture notes, and basically it will provide accurate information grounded on lecture notes that they have, rather than generic information out there in the internet, because exams tend to test on what is found in the lecture notes rather than what is outside of the scope in the very general world. And for each message that the Cosmic gets, it provides a list of references where you can see where the Cosmic got the information from. And you can basically have a very reliable AI that you can be assured that each response you get from the Cosmic will always be factual and based on what data you fit it on, rather than what ChatGPT was trained on. And right now, we are shifting a little bit to a third vision for the Cosmic, and we are basically enhancing the platform further to become a platform for anyone to build, create, and deploy their own custom AI in basically seconds. We are basically building a platform where we can allow users to ingest data from any data source, and especially multiple data sources such as databases, internal files, Google Drive, Notion, and we have this central platform. All the data resides in one single place to help users to find information across multiple data sources easily, especially when you have a company where all the information is scattered everywhere in multiple data sources. On top of that, we are providing the Cosmic with every single relevant information for internal usage within a team to use the Cosmic to search information from all these data sources, and basically can find anything from your company's data in basically seconds. It makes this process so convenient. Find information that you need from your files without having to scatter everywhere and look for the information that you need. We will go even further by allowing users to build chatbots to basically consume their bot from anywhere they want, maybe from their internal website or their public website, their landing page, where you can provide a support section based on the custom data that you have in your company, and basically create this really comprehensive platform where we can ingest data from anywhere and create bots that you can consume information from your data and use this bot in anywhere that you want. I'll cover more on the development of this feature in the next couple of videos, and yeah, that's basically building a startup. Building this really wasn't easy. I've been building this since February, and it's been a long ride. Now it's already June, and I've been working closely with some of the early stage users and pretty much reiterating the platform based on the feedback that I got, and basically building a product that people want. So it's really a process of building a product that people want by getting feedback and working closely with users, especially early stage users, to basically build that product that you can sell to people and people will be hungry and queuing up. So far, it's been a difficult ride because I feel like we have been in this development stage for too long, even though we are in some sort of closed beta already, but we are just stuck in this very long development stage where we are not in ready stage to release a workable version of the product. I would say the base features, the core features of the product is working well, but I will want to finish the bot feature first before I launch the product into an open beta, and you can expect that probably in sometime in July to August period. I have not done much marketing for the Cosmic yet, and I'll be slowly scaling up the marketing for the Cosmic soon as I continue building and get closer to the release date of the open beta. I got the startup credits from AWS, so I'll be porting over my database, my servers over to AWS fully soon. So if you're excited as I am for building this product and seeing the light of getting the Cosmic into open beta soon, especially because I'm right now a student and it's kind of difficult to juggle between like being a student and building a commitment to build this, and especially when times there are exam period, and it's a bit difficult to commit to building this and continuing development for this. So right now it's a bit challenging, but I hope over time we can slowly build this into something very useful for people and for users and for companies to use. Hopefully the Cosmic will eventually become a very useful product for consumers. If you want to build your own tech startup, you really don't need any capital at all to start nowadays, because there's so many free tools out there, free platforms where you can host your application basically for free in your early stages. Once you start making money and validating that this is a product people are willing to pay for, you can eventually start migrating off those platforms, because those platforms usually charge like a scale as you grow fee. So It becomes more expensive when you start getting more users, and I will find that self-hosting your platform on a VPS, on a private server that you set up, which has a fixed fee every month, more sustainable because you don't have the risk of getting a very high bill when you get more users. You perhaps get a surge of users overnight, or maybe you got DDoSed. Basically, it's a very safe way to scale your business from 0 to 1 million users. And there's this idea of a entrepreneur and an entrepreneur. If you are a entrepreneur, you're basically someone who wants to become an entrepreneur and you want to build your own business or your brand, but it just stops there. You don't take any action to make this happen. Whereas an entrepreneur is someone who makes things happen and basically starts getting the business built where he wants it to be. And you've already started building your product and validating the idea to see if people are willing to pay for it, whether there are actual users out there who are willing to pay for your product, your service. You are already ahead of everyone else. And having the courage to start a business is not easy. It's scary to start a business because there's so many moving parts that you don't know. And building a startup is not all about having just building the application, the mobile apps. There's so much more to work on as a founder, as a sole founder in a tech startup, because you have to worry about growth, you have to worry about marketing, the product, the engineering, the sales, the business side, and having the business incorporated. And there's so many moving parts that you have to worry about. And it's just an all-in-one role where you're taking the role of so many people, basically doing everything yourself, and you just have to pick up skills along the way. Good news is that these skills, like business skills, marketing skills, anyone can learn it. You don't need to have a degree in this area or this field to be able to do something like this. These things takes time, especially building a startup from 0. It takes so much time to build something from nothing. And actually, it kind of depends on what your goal is in building your startup, whether it is for fun, whether you like doing it, whether it's just for a side hobby, just trying out in your free time, whether you are doing this because you want to quit your full-time job and start working for yourself. Courage is such a big word. It's easy for anyone to say that they want to start a business, they want to quit their full-time job to start a business, but saying is different from doing. It's easy to say, but you come into the fact that you are quitting your full-time job, getting a fixed income, a reliable income source that you know that you will keep getting this fixed salary every month. You are going into this void of the unknown where there's so much uncertainty and doubt that you don't know where this will take you. Building startups is never easy, and it will never be easy, because from the start to where you want to be, it will always be roadblocks along the way and you will always have setbacks. But it is to have this courage to take this risk into building something beautiful, something meaningful for the world, and making a difference in the world. It gives the motivation to keep you pushing forward and make you want to work harder to be where you want to be. Life is all about taking risks. There's nothing in life that's guaranteed. Everything involves risk. And it is the dream, the ability to chase your dream, making your dream become a reality that motivates me to keep pushing forward and continue building my tech startup. I'll continue documenting every step of the way there to building a successful startup. My failures, my small wins along the way, and every single thing that will lead me to where I want to be.